Hey, on the channel, we got another edition of Mythic Mondays, this time with the Valiant Knight.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Mythic Legions unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got the Mythic Legions Valiant Knight. But for all your Valiant Knight needs and a whole lot more, hit up jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. Yes, 15% over at jaystoysandgames.com. Gotta get a deal, and of course, we're back at it with another edition of Mythic Mondays every single Monday on this very YouTube channel. Checking out another Mythic Legion figure until we can't, and I got quite the stockpile. I can always see it from my desk right over there, so we will get to all of them eventually here on this channel. Make sure you do subscribe, as like I said, every single Monday, Mythic Mondays over here on Kyle Peterson 2.0. And of course, gonna do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're gonna take a look at the packaging, we're gonna talk about it, we're gonna unbox it, we're gonna talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, see what this old Valiant Knight's up to here. And you can never have enough Knights in the Mythic Legion universe. A bit of a one-off retailer exclusive. I don't know, what do they technically call these one? Fan channel retailer exclusives. Not part of a total wave here, just a single release. How about that? How about that? But Mythic Legion's looking good. Got the Knight, got 2 extra head sculpts, and of course, great for customizers. Many different heads you could pop onto this one if that is your thing. Maybe we'll do some of that for the glamour shots as well. On the side, got a little emblem there, and then of course, got the little blurb on the side there. You got the big blurb on the back. I'm not going to read the big blurb there. You can pause the video, check it out if you want to. Beautiful castle background, blue skies. Oh, beautiful scenery right there. But how about the Valiant Knight here? Many of the bravest and most loyal warriors in the Legions of Light are those who have taken the oath to become a Knight of the Realm. Each of the 4 heroic factions of Mythos proudly count knights amongst their forces. Perhaps there will be a day when evil will be vanquished and these warriors will be able to set aside their armor and lay down their weapons. Until that day comes, the Valiant Knights of Mythos will be ready to march underneath the banners of the Legions of Light. They will raise their shields to protect the weak and wield their swords to smite any who would seek to do evil. So there you go, quite the blurb right there. Apparently everybody's got some knights, like a young knight on the town, like a young Kula Shaker. Anybody get that reference there? Kula Shaker, a favorite of mine from back in the day. Packaging, removable if you want to, off to the side, nice see you later. See you later Spider-Man style. That's saying, hey, heat up the joints on your figures. That's what it's saying. And then you got the old plastic prison looking pretty good right here, all things considered. And then you get the baggies. Everybody loves a baggie. Plenty of hands, armor, things like that. Of course, going to take this offline, get everything out of the package. We'll be back talking all things Valiant Knight. All right, we got the Valiant Knight out of the package. Let's dive in. Let's start it off with the accessories per the norm right here. And I guess we'll start off with the hands here. 2 gripping hands out of the package. You do get 2 splayed out hands. Come help me hands. You got those going on if you need those. 2 Fist of Night Fury if you lose your weapons. Guess you're going to be throwing some punches in bunches right there. 2 more gripping hands right here. Are they any different than these? Not terribly different, that's for sure, but 2 more sets of gripping hands here if need be. And then we get some maniacal hands as well. So really, every single hand you could want for one of these knights. Of course, full-on armor, got the armored gloves on these guys here. We do get a neck extender here, so this will put a little extra extension there. We'll probably dive into that for the glamour shots as well. Of course, you got to have a sword. If you're a knight, you got to have a sword and you got to have a shield, and that's what we got with him right here. So we do got the big shield here ready to go. Of course, the handle plugs in and out, typical Legion style. I got some nice little knight artwork on the front there. Oh, shiny knight is what that is. And then I mentioned the sword. Got that as well. Nice point to it, silver blade. Got a very beautiful handle down here. Kind of does match his shield as well. Does come with the sheath, so you just plug that bad boy in there if you want to. Does got the little strap to hold on to the belt around here if you want to. You always got to be careful with these. I've broken a couple of these. These are very flimsy right here, so be careful. Watch what you're doing with those, I will say. You do get the little ball and chain going on. Is it a mace? Is that what they call these things? We got the spiky ball. You got the real chain holding it down into some silver and brown leather there. Swing it all around, ready to go. Nobody wants to be on the business end of one of these for sure. You don't see old-timey weapons like this much anymore. But looking very good. And then, of course, a Valiant Knight. He's got to have some shoulder protection. You got the shoulder guards for him as well. You can choose your own adventure. Use them, don't use them. Of course, this is a bit of an army builder, and one of those ones you can really display differently with all the extra hands, weapons, different heads. A lot you can do with this one here. But now diving into the heads, we got two different knight heads here. And I'm not over the moon on really either of these heads here. You got a big kind of bucket head going on. The mask does not move. Sometimes the visor will come up and down. We don't get any of that going there. Long in the back to protect the neck, I guess. You got the hinge there in gold against the silver. A little slit for the eyes, and that's all you're going to get. So very protected there. Now the second head almost looks like a football to me. You got the slitted eyes there. You got the holes on the side to let the air in. Ready to go. But either of these heads don't really set my world on fire. Maybe you're different than me, but they just kind of, I don't know, they don't look as fancy and as ornate as I would want them to be. Maybe that's just me once again. I did mention you could have heads, and I do got another knight. I guess I'll put him here for right now. A gold knight from way back in the day. Predates the YouTube channel. That's how old this one is, I believe. But he does come with an extra head, so I have a head here. So theoretically, you pop this head off of this knight if you want to, and you stick this one on. And I guess this is where this comes into play. Pop this bad boy in. Of course, you usually got to heat these things up a little bit. I'm trying to do it on the fly. Plug this into the head. Well, you get the point on this one here, but you could put this on here, give this knight a little bit of personality if you wanted to. We'll do some glamour shots with that head along the way. But it is really choose your own adventure, and that's the fun thing about this. That's what a lot of people love about the Mythic Legions, is the customizability with these. I understand that. I understand how that would be enjoyable, but for me, it's weird. I like how it is out of the package. That's how I want it to be. My mind limits me a little bit, and I don't want to have 1,000 different baggies going around and saying, okay, I want to get rid of this guy, but is that the real head? Is that the right weapon? I have so many figures I'd never remember that. So it's a very, very tough thing. I don't know. It's just first world problems. Maybe that's what it is right there. But we got two heads with this one. Like I said, I'm almost tempted to grab a head pack or some of the extra fodder and use a human head under here and have him holding the helmet. I think that would be a kind of a good look. So we'll see. We'll see what I come across there on that one. I guess we can walk through the articulation quick here. Arms do go around for us. Single jointed elbow, a little side-to-side action, a little looser than I would like it to be right there. But a little loose there. Hands removable back forth side to side. Head removable back forth side to side. The neck protector, whatever you want to call that, that does float up and down and kind of around there. Protects that neck. You got to protect your neck, as we do know. You got all kinds of movement out of the bell right there at the waist, up, down, back and forth, side to side. Shoulder pads connect in the back, as we talked about. Big old Mythic Legion Knight splits if you want to. We got a gymnast under this suit here. Leg all the way up for that big Hulkster boot. Oh, single jointed knee, a little side-to-side action as well. Ankles back and forth, side to side, up and down. So your usual Legion articulation here. A nice feeling figure too. A lot of times people got to heat these up. I think they've been at room temperature for a year or more for a lot of these figures for me. So I think they're accustomed to the elements down in my basement here. So moving pretty freely right here. Outside of that, it looks like he climbed into a garbage can. Well, not that much, but got all the protection there. You got the shoulder guards, the forearm guards, of course the hands protected, elbow pads protected. You do get a brown belt on this one that does go over the protection here, protecting the thighs, protecting the crotch. Oh, please, protect that crotch. You do got the shin guards down here. Looks like, once again, Carlton Fisk. I don't know, Carlton Fisk invading that Legion life here, but looking good. And then you got those big old knight shoes as well in the nice steel color with the rivets. A guy that's well protected, a guy that's ready to go to the battlefield, of course, is this Valiant Knight. And of course, he will fit, will he? Yes, he will, on a Ringside Collectible stand using discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% on Ringside Collectibles. All kinds of stuff over there as well. Make sure you get the Mattel stands for these Mythic Legions. But the Valiant Knight, not terrible. Not a terrible figure. Great for customizers, and that's where I kind of get held back, and some others jump ahead of me here because I'm not a customizer by nature. That's not what I do, but I could see customizers really diving into this one, making an army of knights, making them different, using different heads, hands, weapons, things like that. Very good for a base for something like that, but just as its own, very good. For me personally, I'm just not a big fan of either of the heads on this one. It is what it is. You like what you like, you don't what you don't. You know how that goes as well. But a fun enough figure for what it is. I know, like I said, could be an army builder for you. For me, I'm good with just one of these in my collection. But what's your take on the Valiant Knight? You here for this one? Pick up, pass, long game, not so sure game? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Every Monday, a different Mythic Legion. Don't miss out on the next one. I'll see you guys next Monday for another edition of Mythic Mondays, of course. Don't forget my other YouTube channel. Subscribe over there. Everything going to the Patreon from both YouTube channels. Get early access to all the videos, of course. ProWrestlingTees.com. Pick up a t-shirt. SirPaul64 on the X. _Kyle_Peterson on Threads. And on Instagram. And don't forget, now on TikTok. So for another Mythic Monday, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.